Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing and football tips for Saturday, the 17th of February. Well, if you can do me a favour, give this video a quick like, and I'm going to get straight into it. So here's the first bet. My first bet, I think it's at 10. I think it's £30 stake for the day. So as I said, straight into it. So it's an 8p each way, looking 63. This first bet is I've gone for big price horses that I think have got a bit of a squeak. So the first selection is Mott Hill at 14 to 1 in the 225 at Ascot, paying 6 places instead of 4. I tipped this last time in the Lanzarote Hurdle. It ran okay until fading late on. Shorter distance, very slightly, I think a couple of furlongs shorter. I think it's still got every chance. I think it's a horse that's in decent form. The second selection is Fontaine Collonges at 16 to 1 in the 315 at Haydock. It's the Grand National Trial Handicap Chase, paying 4 places instead of 3. Venetia Williams regularly has runners and winners in this race. She's got 2. I think they've both got a sneak, but I do like them both at biggish prices. But I've gone for Fontaine Collonges. If this race is up with the pace or leads, I think it's got an even better chance because there's an awful lot in this race that like to be held up. And when it comes to mounting the challenge, when it's heavy at Haydock, it's ridiculously difficult to actually pick up in the ground. It's just a case of keep on plodding. So I think if this horse could potentially race prominently or lead, I think it's got a much better chance and just needs to stay on. But who knows what could happen on the day. Third selection is Broctune Azur at 33 to 1 in the 357 at Newcastle, paying 4 places instead of 3. It's not been running as bad as what it looks. It's not been beaten too far, and I think it could sneak a place. The fourth selection, quite oddly, is my nap of the day, but only because it's one of the most interesting horses, not because I think it's guaranteed a place. So it's Don't Rightly Know at 22 to 1 in the 425 at Haydock, paying 4 places instead of 3. Another horse. If this horse goes to the front and gets a relatively easy lead, there are so many horses that are bred to want this 3 mile, but have actually never ran over this 3 mile. This horse is receiving weight off, I think it's either all of them or pretty much all the horses. So therefore, this horse has ran at 3 mile and round about 3 mile. It's got to improve to win, definitely. But I think if it runs well, it could place. And if a few of the others don't run up to form or don't run up to expectations, this horse could get a place. I think, to be honest, it needs an easy lead. The next selection is Enola Gray at 12 to 1 in the 6 o'clock at Newcastle, paying 4 places instead of 3. Personally, this horse, in my opinion, runs better in the better races when it's carrying a low weight. As it's number 12, I think it's got 8 stone 13, which is a low weight in my opinion, definitely one of the lowest in the race. And I think a recent run will keep it on its toes, and this horse could be picking horses off late. I just hope I don't mind it being traditionally slowly away, just as long as it's not ridiculously slowly away. And the final selection in this bet is Balear at 12 to 1 in the 630 at Newcastle, paying 4 places instead of 3. A tasty price. It ran 2-3 last time. If Jason Hart can get it tucked away and produce it with a late run or late-ish run, I think it's got a decent chance of at least getting a place. So let me quickly talk you through the football. Very brief. So I've had a £5 over 2.5 gold treble and a £3 over 3.5 gold treble. All you need to do, you need to know the team or the matches. So the match is Swansea versus Ipswich, Wrexham versus Notts County, and Tottenham versus Wolves. So as I said, it's a £5 over 2.5 goals treble, those matches, and a £3 over 3.5 gold treble. Now what I've started doing is this. I would normally have £1, but I've got the 98p in the account, so I thought I'd have a 98p treble. So basically what I've done is, it's a 98p, both teams to score in the first half. So it returns £40. Well, that pays for the day. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't come up that often, 40-1 chances, but I basically had the same matches. Tottenham and Wolves, Swansea and Ipswich, and Wrexham Notts County. All those teams to score in the first half. 98 pence treble returns £40.61. So the next bet is another horse racing bet. And these selections are horses that I think have got a decent chance of winning, plus also I've included my nap of the day. So it's 15 pence each way, lucky 31. The first selection is 3 under through 5 at 4-1 in the 3 o'clock at Ascot, paying 4 places instead of 3. It's run creditably both runs this season, finishing second. I think it's a horse in decent form. I think it's going to continue to run well, and don't see why it can't put up a good show again and possibly win this race. Possibly my most realistic nap at the prize is Yes Day. It's another horse that wants 3 mile that was put over a much shorter trip. Now, I believe it was put over a shorter trip last time, so it underperformed. It ran over 2 mile, 3.5 furlong. It only ran up to form. It ran exactly up to its 121 mark. And I say that because its Racing Post rating for that day was 121. So it ran up to expectations, or ran to its best, but it was over an inconvenient distance. I think now that handicap mark has been preserved at 121, I think now it's been stepped up in distance, it will love this test. Heavy ground and 3 mile. The third selection is Bristol Hill, 11-2 in the 3:57 at Newcastle, paying 4 places instead of 3. The next selection is Don't Rightly Know at 20-1 in the 4:25 at Haydock, paying 4 places instead of 3. That's the one that it requires an easy lead, and it's technically my nap of the day because of it, one of the most interesting ones. As I said, yesterday is probably the most realistic nap of the day, with conditions to suit, and I expect it to. I'm finding very few flaws in yesterday. And finally, an interesting horse is Aeroplane Mode, 8-1 in the 5:45 at Wolverhampton. If this is tucked in like mid-division, not too far away, and it's not given a ridiculously wide berth throughout the race, I think this, what seems to me like a bit of a drop in class, I think it could be staying on, and it's a poor race. Big Nasty's in the race, and that horse, for me, Big Nasty, it runs well in very poor class, and I think this horse is better than that horse. Big Nasty, don't get me wrong, it's not favourite for that race tomorrow, but it's one of the more fancied horses, and I think this horse should beat that horse. So, is there anything else? No, so there you can see it's with £5 over 2.5 gold treble. So those are all the bets for Saturday. I've done it as quick as I can. We're 8 minutes in. So if you give me a like or a subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Fingers crossed. So the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.